the Paper Chef here. In today's Ink It Up tutorial, I'm going to do my first unboxing of my pre-order from the May 21 to April 22 annual catalog. Can't open it yet to show you the inside, but I can show you what I get in the mail. So in today's Ink It Up tutorial, and my Ink It Up tutorial, if you're new to my channel, is just a tutorial where I show stamping and coloring techniques. And what I'm going to do in this one is just unbox my new goodies. We'll talk about the new colors. We'll unbox the cardstock. I do have the markers as well. I will talk about some differences between markers and alcohol blends. And we will color on basic white cardstock, which I have. We will color on some vellum doilies. And we'll just make some card designs. Sound fun? I hope so. Hi Pam, thanks for joining me. All right, so I'm just opening up the blends. And you're going to hear some crinkling noises because when I say I'm unboxing, I'm not kidding. You're going to get to see my initial reaction too. I just opened up my box, grabbed them, threw them in a pile and said, let me go live and show my crafty friends these new products along, and then you get to see them along with me and you get the excitement of unboxing things. Because I know I'm excited, even if it's not mine, just to see new crafts. So Anne and Carmen, thank you for joining me. All right, so I have the old, hi Deborah too, and hi Terrell. I hope I'm saying that right, from Norway. Terrell. All right. I have the other ink colors as well. So what happens in Stampin' Up! Is we get new ink colors every 2 years. They last for 2 years. So our other colors are retiring. Okay, like retiring already. These were the old ink colors that are retiring now. These were called the 2019 to 2021. These ink colors are retiring. These ink colors, some of these are some of the ink colors. These are sticking around for another year. I'll go over them because I might need them. Like I might need to rely on cinnamon cider for my branch later when I do something with a branch. And these are new ones. So these are going to be around for 2 years. Starting in May, and they'll be around for 2 years. Okay, so we have Fresh Freesia. I hope Fresh Freesia. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Okay, that's the purplish one. Soft Succulent. Okay, Polished Pink. Evening Evergreen. And Pale Papaya. When we launched In Colors, we go all out and we launch paper, designer series paper, which I can't get my hands on yet because it's not available to us. We launch markers, we launch ink pads, ink refills, and ribbons. I don't have the ribbons yet. I don't have the ink pads yet, but I'm showing you what I have. I have the cardstock. I have the markers. So I'm just showing you what I have. So this is a pack of paper that has 4 sheets in each. So it's like a variety pack of cardstock. I really like that. Okay, so there you go. This is the Pale Papaya. So we can use one of these as a card base in a couple minutes after we do some coloring, right? Because I always like to make my tutorials useful. Get to do something with what we create, right? So that was the Pale Papaya. Fresh Freesia. Let's say Freesia. I'm just going to say it like that for this tutorial, and then we'll figure out if I say it right. Okay, that was the Soft Succulent. Okay, Soft Succulent. Polished Pink, that's easy. This reminds me of like nail polish. Polished Pink. Evening Evergreen. So that's a really nice deep green, really nice. Okay, so we'll put that over there, and then of course we have our markers. So the markers are the easiest to understand. They're just when you look at when you think of markers. Let's see if I can't get the container. When you think of markers, you think of just dye-based ink. Okay, and it's easy to understand because it's dye-based. They're easy to like if you get it on your hands, it like washes right off, and so it's like you can't blend them. They just come out in one color. So that's the Polished Pink. Fresh Freesia, Pale Papaya, Soft Succulent, and Evening Evergreen. Okay, so you're not going to blend the colors together, but we might need them. These are great for coloring in solid areas. These markers have a fine tip and they have a brush tip, and they all work like that. So far I like them. I like how they go together. I like that, how they go together. But when you talk about blends, when you look at your blends, these are alcohol based. Okay, so you have a light, oh, that's a dark actually. You have a dark and a light. Okay, you can't see much because this isn't good paper to do it on, but you have a light and a dark of each. And it's gonna be much better when I do it on the right kind of paper. All right, so let's get stamping. I figured since my last tutorial was on Snailed It, we'll start out by coloring some snails. Hi, Linda, Cheryl. Because that's what my last Brother Scan and Cut tutorial was on, and this was just laying on my table, and I said, why not? Let's try to color snails. And then I'm even gonna try this mushroom scene. I was thinking this scene with the little mushroom, that's what I was thinking. Put the little, maybe the snail can say hello. Right? And this can go like that, and we have a card. That's a card, and we can have them saying hello in the thought balloon, because hello fits inside the thought balloon. Okay? So that's it. We'll try that. And I have a little, so Memento Black ink is a great ink because you can use it when you can use it with your markers. It's a hybrid ink, right? So you can use it with your markers or with your alcohol blends. And that's what's really nice about the ink. It's really versatile. Let's find a stamping block. Okay, we're going to put the snail. These are cling stamps. So that's Snailed It stamp set. Cling stamps. Boy, I should have been more prepared, huh? I need a bigger stamping block. Here we go. And then this one we'll put on there. We'll put that one on there. So when you do your blends, you always just do all your blacks first. I like to turn it over. Tap, tap, tap. I always like to test my ink on my mat first to make sure I have the right amount of ink. And then I did have, before I buried the cardstock over here, I had a little stamping mat. You should always use a silicone mat if you can. So I know that it's doing even coverage. I think I just got one of my new, yep. We're going to use one of these for our card bases, right? Because I just got black ink on these. So one of these will be our card base. I'm a messy crafter, if you haven't noticed already. From all my tutorials, I'm just a total mess. Ah, cute little snail. Okay, if we mess up our snail, we gotta always make an extra when you're going live, because if I mess up my coloring, right, then we have an extra snail. Not to mention, it's good to have a couple cards created. So that dries in a minute because it's pretty fast drying. And now we will do the little mushroom scene. Yeah, so which one is your favorite color? Of the 5 colors I just showed you. Hello, Craft with Barbara and Anne. Hello. Do you like fresh freesia, if I'm saying it right? Do you like polished pink? Do you like pale papaya? Do you like soft succulent? Or do you like evening evergreen? So he's going to have to say hello this way. I don't know where I'm going to make him say hello. I should have made a little room for him to say hello. He's just going to say hello up like that. I'm going to do this one a little different because he needs to say hello kind of like down like that. And then hopefully my mushroom fits. Yeah. Okay, I like that better. But we're going to go with it both, and then we'll put a little hello in there. I'm more of a green and blue person, but I think the evening evergreen's a little too dark for me. So out of the 2 greens, I like the soft succulent better. I'm not as into pink, so I mean, I guess my favorite might be the pale papaya, but I have to see how it colors. So I'm thinking the pale papaya would be good for the snail's body. That's what I'm thinking. So let's do the pale papaya. Now we already know what's great about an In Color collection is we already know that they're going to go well together. So what I'm going to do is take the dark blends, actually take the dark one and take the dark pale papaya, and there's a fine tip end and there's a thicker end. So the fine tip end, you can't blend that. That's just, right? You just got to do it like that because you can't blend this part. It's too small. Don't try to blend areas that are too small. Just go ahead and color them in straight away. But we're going to take the brush tip and we can go around the outside with the darker color because it's, when you blend, you always take the darker color and then you go around the outside and then you sort of blend it. And this, we can even put some dark down there because it's already dark. And then you blend it with the lighter color. And then you can go back through with the darker color again. So now I'm taking the light pale papaya and I'm just doing circular motions. And I know my camera's shaking, but hopefully not too dizzy. And it looks better after it dries. So that's why I'm doing a few colorings, because I want you to see the difference after it dries. Like how different that'll look and how. Okay, we should put your cap back on because alcohol markers do dry out quickly. And I've had a couple crack, and so they did dry out. You can refresh them a little bit with alcohol, but I just found it was just easier just to get new ones, but they're not too expensive. And we used to sell them singly, and now we sell them only in pairs. You need like a dark and a light together. So I'm just doing the dark, and then I'm going to do the light around. Circular motion, circular motion. All right. Now, I thought we would do the little snail shell with the fresh freesia, and then I would do the purple, like this guy. No, I'm not sorry. I'm sorry. I meant no, I don't mean that. I meant the polished pink. I figured I'd do these little areas in polished pink, and then we'll do the little purple, the little fresh freesia on those little lines in between. So to do these little sections, just do a couple at a time. Don't do too many at a time because you can't blend ink unless it's wet. So I can do 3 maybe, but don't try to do all 5. And now I'm going to get the light one, the light polished pink, because that way you're catching it before it's, wow, this looks so much like Magenta Madness. A lot like it. That's a current color. Really looks a lot like that. So now I'm going to do these dark side. Yep, pretty cool. A little bit of circular motion going on. All right, I didn't mess up this card, so I don't really need to do, that one up there. But I'm thinking for the middle, let's do something a little different. Let's take the dark. Let's take this one. We're going to take the light fresh freesia, right? And go around, and then we're going to do then we're going to make this little peachy color, this little pale papaya in the middle. We'll blend those two. I mean, you could do whatever you want, but I just thought that'd be fun. Something different in the middle of the snail. Okay, we'll see how that turns out. I don't know how it's going to turn out. Just got to wait and see because it dries and it changes color a little. So now we're going to take this, I'm going to take the dark fresh freesia and just go like that, just on these lines. And now we have a cute and colorful snail. And we will do his little, let's do his little mushroom in that color. We'll do the mushroom in dark and light. So we'll do, this is the dark. I guess we'll just do dark and light spots. I don't know how to do a mushroom. I'm not really familiar. I mean, we're doing everything whimsical right now, so we'll do, you know what I'll do? I'm just going to, so it's not that big of an area, I'm just going to color this dark, and then I'll make the spots light. That's what I'll do. I'll just make the whole mushroom this color, except for the other parts. Oops, and I probably should have left it so the grass was green. But if I use evening evergreen on that grass, it will probably be fine, because the evening evergreen is so dark and it'll dominate what I just colored in purple. Fresh freesia. How come I never heard that word before this color came out? All right, we're going to take the evening evergreen, the dark one, only because I need to cover my mistakes here and color in that grass, because I want to make sure my My purple is not showing there. All right. I'm going to use lighter. This is way too dark for me, so I'm going to go ahead and use the lighter. Oh, there goes my microphone part. We'll take the soft succulent for this. And we're going to just do the soft succulent. So let's just do for these little leaves, what you can do, since areas are too small to blend, they're just too small to blend. So what I like to do, just to jazz things up, is I like to just sometimes just do every other leaf or something like that. You can just sort of do that. Instead of trying to blend such small areas. Just do every other leaf a different color. Different color meaning I'm doing light soft succulent and dark soft succulent. All right, and it needs some of this pink over here. I can tell it needs some color over here. So we'll do a mixture of pale papaya and here. I'm thinking the lighter one, right? Oh, thank you. I'm just playing around for just kind of come off the top of my head here. I'm making this up as I go along, but you can too. You can too, because there's no right or wrong way. That's what's fun about the blends. I mean, these are some funky, like 1970s colors almost. Some of them look like this almost looks like hot fluorescent pink or something. I'm going to make the stem of that one this dark. I'm going to make that one dark stem, the darker one, and then I'm going to use the little bit of pale papaya for the rest of it. All the parts I haven't colored in so far. And I didn't talk about the color lifter. The color lifter is when you make mistakes. The color lifter is this. It's a really cool tool. So say you color outside the lines, which I haven't really. I mean, that's actually so minor. That little bit. But if I want to get these lighter, because I think this evening evergreen, I'm not digging it for my grass. It's still so dark. You can lighten up things with the color lifter as well. So anyway, I was going to go in with the pale papaya here for the rest of these little mushrooms. And then I'll do something with that little stem. Let's take the light. Let's take this guy and just do something with him. Like we're going to just kind of go like that on the stem. I don't even know what that is, if it's a stem or just another piece, but we'll just do a little bit of green there. I'm gonna kind of go in with this light one and make my own little ground area, because like I said, the evening evergreen, you know, that might work. All right, now I did bring in reinforcements. I brought in some extra colors, so I need to always make my snail eyes. I usually always use Pool Party or Petal Pink or something. So I'm bringing in reinforcements here. I'm going to use Pool Party for the eyes. Something really light. Okay, so that, you know, Pool Party kind of goes with anything as far as the eyes go. Okay, now we're back to just using the In Colors. So I need something for this package. I'm thinking the evergreen will be too dark, but I could probably try the light evergreen, the light evening evergreen, and and then I could make the light soft succulent. So let's try that combination. We're going to take the light soft succulent with the light. Is this the light? Nope. This is it. The light evening evergreen. So what we're going to do is take the evening evergreen, the light one, and just go around the little present. Oh, that's still so dark. What were they thinking? Making a color so dark. Okay. So then we're going to go in here with this. I mean, it's going to be good for, I think I can see some holiday patterns in this, like the evergreen. I could see trees. I mean, it's going to be good for some things. Not too bad. The present's a little dark for me. So I might have to go in there with my, let's try to make the present another, let's try this one for the present. Because other than that, I would like that whole thing except for the present. So I would say, let's try this to see if this will work. And you know, it might be better once it dries. Well, better. Okay. But I think I'm digging this one now. You know what? It's the balance. This is actually better because it's balanced. Because it's balanced between those leaves over there and the present and all that. And then I could even, if I wanted to, do a little, just do a little thing around the edge of this. Something like this. Not the whole thing. Just like when I'm doing my little snowmen. I just sort of go around like a little shadow. I think it needs a little wink of Stella. Yeah, it needs a little oomph on there. And this guy needs wink of Stella. Everything always needs wink of Stella. So when in doubt, put wink of Stella on everything. Wink of Stella is a glitter pen. And I think I can just show you that closer up so you get appreciation for that. Well, maybe you can't even see it. But maybe I'll just do it up in the air and then you can see it. And the colors still aren't dry yet, so I probably shouldn't have done it yet. Because as you can see, I'm smearing the colors. But you would do this more after the colors dry a little bit better. They'll still blend though. But I'm committed now. I'm already putting the wink of Stella on there. So cool, and it makes everything sparkly and shiny. And glittery, and so we'll just put it on this mushroom. Okay, so I think that the card is ready to be mounted onto, card base. I'll just do it on there too. I'm going to do it on everything. So maybe some little hearts or something, right? That's when we can use this. So when you're going to use hearts, or you could say you snailed it. You could say you snailed it or happy mail, but I say, okay, what does it say? You got mail, you've got mail, but that's all attached to the snail and I don't feel like taping it and all that. So I would say just hearts. We just need some hearts and then we'll use the markers. Since it is an Ink It Up series, we'll just do the markers now. Because, or, you know, just to see the difference. Okay, we're going to just make a few hearts because we need something at the top. And I usually like to do 3. You know, like when I'm doing something, I usually make three of something. So we'll put 1, 2, 3. And that way I have some balance, right? Okay. And then we could put something else over there. We could put like, let's see what we could put over there. No, we don't really need anything over there. I mean, I think it's fine the way it is. All right, so let's take the markers. And we'll just, you got to be careful with the markers, and there's a little bit of black thing got on there. When you're doing the markers, because when you don't want to smear them in the ink. Because these, unlike when you use alcohol markers with Memento, it's kind of like opposites, and you know, they don't really smear as much. But this one, I just want to make sure I'm not touching the line too much. Okay, and you can see that the markers color a little bit darker than the blends do. I just like using the markers sometimes when I have small areas because it helps me like stay in the lines easier. Because the brush tip is kind of big. And let's do this light guy. Let's do you can see I'm kind of staying away from the evening evergreen as much as I can. I'm just doing right now I'm doing the soft succulent. But it does look, even this is dark. That's a dark color. Okay, awesome. So I often get asked about making card bases. And this is just an A2 card, so we're going to make an A2 card. When you have cardstock, what I like to do is I like to just do the scoring ahead of time. I like to score at 4. We can take this off. We don't need that. I'm going to score at 4 1/4 because it's 8.5 across. So I'm going to score at 4 1/4, right? And then I can get 2 cards at once, because then I can cut this paper in half and I have 2 cards at once. Although I got a little ink on one of my cards. So I'm just looking for my paper trimmer. I have to laugh because, like, how does one lose a paper trimmer? Seriously, that you just had in your craft room, like right before you went live, and how does one lose a paper trimmer? It's like nowhere in sight. Here it is, okay. And so what I'm going to do is cut it 5.5. And then we just take, this one already has something on it, so we're not going to use that one because it already has like a little stain on it. I just like to take my little, you either take your bone folder or a little spatula. Oh wow, lots of you came in. Hi Yvonne and Francis and Susan. Okay, so what I like to do is just use the edge of my paper trimmer and sort of use this, you know, little spatula to help flatten it down. Now that's because I'm making the card horizontal. I would have done the opposite if I was making it vertical. So we'll just do that though. Oh, I'm so happy. I just do think it does need something over there. Let's just go ahead and make 2 more hearts, because you always got to make it odd number, right? So when you make hearts, you got to do it odd number. Or when you do anything, any embellishments, 3, 5, 7. And I don't know where I learned that design principle. So we'll just do all the item colors. Okay, so we need this color. We need this color. And I'm going to have to use the Evening Evergreen. But you know what? If I'm going to have to use it, I'm going to use the blends because it'll be lighter. I'm going to use the light Evening Evergreen. Just because I have to use it, because I'm trying to do all 5 colors. Not a very happy for a heart color, but right? It's just not a happy heart. You know what we could do is we can use our color lifter. We'll lift up the color and make it a little bit lighter. And then we'll use this guy. We'll use the Fresh Freesia. And now we have, I think, a little bit of balance to the card. Well, this was fun. It was kind of like mystery stamping. You don't know what you're going to get, right? But I'm liking how it came out. I don't know. What do you think? I mean, it's like, I'm happy with all these colors except for the one color, as you heard me say many times. And you can be honest if you don't like a color. I mean, no one's going to get offended. Colors invoke a lot of mood and emotion, and so people should have preferences for colors. I mean, that's the whole point of colors. I mean, if they have meanings for different things. So what I'm doing is now, oh, by the way, when you use the regular cardstock, the basic white, not the thick one, the regular one, it does bleed through, but it's no big deal. I'm using Seal Plus, by the way. Thank you. I'm glad you like it, Terry. All right, so now you just got to kind of stand above your card and make sure that you're centering it. And I could have put another layer of another In Color, but hey, I'm happy with my In Colors. We're keeping it simple. No layers needed, no embellishments needed. I mean, that is embellishments. It does need Wink Stella on the hearts. You know, because I put Wink Stella on everything else. But you don't need, I don't need gems and pearls and ribbons. In fact, I don't even have my ribbons yet. My In Color ribbons. I'm gonna lighten up that Evening Evergreen before I put the Wink Stella on it. I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna get in here with the color marker, the color lifter, I mean, and I'm gonna lift up the color. And you'll see this kind of like the magic eraser. This magic, it lifts up the color on your, when things are too dark for you. Now the only reason I can use this though, just so you're not confused, because I don't want you to get confused, I can only use this right now because I colored that one with a blend. So I want you to understand, I colored that with an alcohol marker. I can't use the color lifter on any of this 1, 2, 3, 4 hearts. I can't use the color lifter on these 4 hearts because these are not alcohol. This is an alcohol color lifter. These are dye-based inks. This is alcohol-based inks. So you can't use a color lifter on a dye-based ink. Right? So I'm only using it because that's the one I use the, like I said, the alcohol marker on. And I use so much it's kind of rubbing through the paper, but at least it's a light, it's a light heart. There. I wanted the heart to be light. It was too dark for me. Now I'm happy with my card because I got that lighter heart. It was just too depressing. And then this could have been lighter. I could have blended that little present a little more. All right, so now I thought it would be fun to just try this. We'll make one flower. And this, because this one, it just came in my box. I never had this stamp set before until I saw it for, ready for this? $5.60. Right? It was $14. So right now this is on the last chance item. So basically everything I've showed you, you can get on here later and May 4th, right? But this one, so these are going to be May 4th. May 4th, when the catalog goes live. I don't know if you can see that. But to write it in a better color. Here, we'll use this Evening Evergreen. We'll use Evening Evergreen. So May 4th for the In Colors. But when I'm showing you the In Colors. But this is available now because this is part of what's called the last chance. $5.60. So it's a little tiny stamp set. It's not a big deal. And it goes with some little note cards that are on sale. So I just thought I'd make one of these little flowers here. We'll just make this little flower with it because I just got it. And why not use it? I mean, it's really cute. I mean, it's just it's 4 seasons. So you have winter, spring, summer, fall flowers, right? And if you just are new to stamping and you don't have any stamps, then that's the stamp set for you, right? It has a happy birthday, thank you, and a for you. Very easy. So we'll just do the daisy. And we'll just use yep, it's stamped well. Yeah, okay, Stays On Ink, Deborah. You would use Stays On Ink for watercolor pencils. So you don't need Stays On Ink. You could use Stays On Ink, but with alcohol markers, no. So for the Stays On Ink, the only reason I would use it was with watercolor pencils. Because it's a bear to clean, and it really is a nice ink. It won't run when you add like water to it. It's like a permanent ink. You can use it on porcelain. I've used it on wood, but it kind of does run on wood. I don't think anything works very well on wood, no matter what they say. Not from my experience, but I mean, I can get it to work on wood a little bit with a stencil. I can get things to work on wood. I've stamped on wood a lot, but yeah, so Stays On's cool. Anyway, let's put that there to look at. And now we're going to do this guy. We're just going to try this one. I'm going to try this Four Season Floral. So what I would do for this is I would go around the edges again. I would just do the dark edges, and then I would also go over those lines. And I'm just going to go ahead and do the whole thing. I mean, I say not to color big sections at once, but it's not that big of a flower. So I'm going to go ahead and circle it and go back to the lines. So I'm going to circle it, meaning circle the little, right? Circle, circle, circle motion, like that. And then I'm leaving this little halo, because I'm going to probably grab some other lighter. I might grab my petal pink or something, but I'm going to leave a little bit there and try a different color to blend it with just a little bit around the center. I would probably get like some kind of yellowish color or something. Here, I can grab or maybe this little, I'm just going to grab my petal pink because I have it. I'm just going to get my petal pink and do the inside like that. Ooh, they go good together. Who'd have thought that? See, look, this is petal pink, and this is yeah, that's the light, yeah, I use Memento ink for this. I use Memento ink every time I'm using Stampin' Blends. And with markers. I use Memento most of the time. Oh, wait, which was that? Was that the dark? Yeah, that was dark pale papaya. So now what I want to do is, I did the flower, and now I'm just going to go in, and I did the petal pink around the inside. Now what I want to do is just get those lines. I'm just going over all the lines in the dark. The dark pale papaya. And then you know what I'm going to use for the stem. I'm going to use soft succulent. And avoid my evergreen as much as possible as it's dark. Okay, so we're going to take the dark soft succulent. We'll do the dark soft succulent for the stem. And then we're going to do the light soft, and then we'll do it for the stem, and we'll also do the dark like this. See, that's what I usually do when I do leaves. I just do a little line. And then I'm going to blend the light soft succulent. Oh, yes. Very nice. And then you could write, you know, you could do some more flowers in different colors. Maybe, oh, you know what? That's what I'll probably do. I'll probably do them in a few different, I'll just do them in a few in colors. That might be interesting. Okay, like maybe make one with the same thing with the other in colors. All right, now I want to try it with the birds. Okay, the last I want to try, this is a fun stamp set that's carrying over. And I use it all the time, and I've had it for years, and I'm so happy it's carrying over. It's free as a bird. And so what I thought for this one, when I said I'm going to call in reinforcements, I want to call in the reinforcements of these colors that are the current in colors, especially for the stem. I'm going to need that cinnamon cider for the stem. Okay, so I never put my stickers on this, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm all about tips and tricks here. When you get a cling stamp set, right? Let's see. Let me see if that was the one. Yeah. The older style of the cling stamp set, I think it was. It doesn't have this, it didn't have the sticker. It didn't have like the sticker that stuck to the stamping block as well. I think that was the reason. I think that's the reason I put the sticker on it. All right, so I'm going to need a giant stamping block for this guy. You don't really need the sticker though if you just know which way is up and which way is down. Well, I think I better not put it with the flower because this is more of a forest scene. So we're going to put it like there. We're going to make the branch come off the side. Kind of like off to the side like that. We're going to do this, put the stamp right there. All right, so to do the, and we don't have to color the whole thing. It just depends on how much time, you know, it takes, but we'll see. We'll see. It shouldn't take too long, but I'm just going to do one of these. And we're going to put that one over there. So you have something to look at with the pretty new in colors. All right, so I want to stamp onto this mat just to make sure that I have pretty good coverage. Whenever your stamp is bigger than your ink pad, always turn it over and stamp it there. So I'm going to put it right about up there. That way I could put a little piece of designer series paper or a little piece of cardstock under it, you know, across the bottom. And maybe I could emboss the piece of cardstock, you know, so that, like across the bottom. But now that's since it's little birds, you want them to, you know, be across the air like that. And then you could just do like the world needs more of you. Your friendship means the world to me. Or we're the best of friends. I like we're the best of friends. Here. Because of the little birds, like, hey, we're all sitting on the branch together. We're the best of friends. And the reason I'm doing the sentiment now is because I need to know if it's going to come out or if I need to cover it up. Meaning, am I going to mess up the card or am I going to have to cover it up? If I mess up the card, hi Honeybees Stamping and Lorna and Deborah. If I mess up this, then I'm going to have to cover it up and just change the little bit of the design and leave a little bit more room. But that works. It works good. We'll put it over there. All right, so I'm happy. I didn't mess it up. So now I can do now I was going to color the little birds different colors. And so we're going to take, you always got to do the different ones. So we're going to say, we're going to always do the dark one. Hi, Teresa. So we're going to put the dark one first. I just do the whole head dark. The whole head, and then the brown, the body. And then I do the little, I've been coloring these for years. I usually just color them with whatever colors are out at the time. So, and this bird scene always seems to work out well. It's just a fun stamp set to color because I like coloring when it's big. You know, when I have big areas to color. Okay, and then I just did the circular motion for the inside. Now let's get the fresh freesia, and we'll do a bird with that. Make the head dark. Make the body dark. And we'll do a little bit of light in the inside. Now these are still pretty juicy. So they're a little darker than normal. Okay, then we'll get this guy. Do one over here. I think I'm going to do this one, and I'm going to go, and then I'm going to try one of the other in colors to go with it. We're going to call in reinforcements. So this is dark. Now, what I like about this new set of in colors is they gave us all 5. Because last year's in colors, they didn't all come out in blends. Like, we still don't have a Bumblebee Blends. Right? But we have a Magenta Madness Blends. We have just Jade, Misty Moonlight, and Cinnamon Cider. So we have, these are last year's In Colors. I think they're going to go well with these year's In Colors. And I'm going to test the theory out now with the Magenta Madness. We're going to test it out. We're going to put them, because, you know, we already have the colors of the birds over there. We have the other colors, I mean, so I'm just going to go and do a Magenta Madness bird. And my marker's really juicy. When it's really juicy, don't rub too hard. Okay, so we'll try that. And the light Magenta Madness. I'm maybe not going to go all the way in because it's looking really dark, so we'll grab that other one. We'll grab, what is this? We're going to get the light one of this and just grab this and see what happens. The light polished pink with the Magenta Madness and see how they go together. I think that might work out better. A little too dark over there otherwise. And then you can do the little branch here with the Cinnamon Cider. So I'm going to take the dark Cinnamon Cider when you make your branch. And I've tried many different colors of branches, but different shades of browns. But I always just sort of do this. I just make a line. And that's it. And then I just take a lighter color and make the bottom of the wood here. So I'm using the thin side of the Cinnamon Cider. Okay, and let's use some combination of just Jade and some combination of, you know, this soft succulents. Just so soft succulent, I mean, because that's evergreen. For the leaves, I mean. Here we go. Just to see how the, you know, the other In Colors go with these In Colors. Just out of curiosity and because they look like they're going to go well together. I mean, I know that these 5 go together because they came together. Right? So, what I'm doing is I'm just taking the light soft succulent, and just to kind of give you an idea what I'm thinking I'm going to try to do is take, this light soft succulent is still darker than the just Jade. Right? So I'm taking the light soft succulent and then I'm going to take the light just Jade and see if I can't combine those two. So this is the light just Jade and that was the light soft succulent. And I'm going to see how they go. Yeah, they go. I mean, I don't know, it looks to me like they go. They go together. Like peanut butter and jelly. I probably could use the thin side. This is, you know, this is a thick side. Because it's kind of such a small area. Oops, I wonder if that was the bird's wing that I just colored in with. I think that, no, that was a leaf. That was a leaf. Yeah, I can't believe how well last year's In Colors go with this year's In Colors. Oops, I just colored outside the lines. And I'm going to have to use my little color lifter over there. So that little part, I would use the color lifter for. Where's that color lifter? Right there. Oops. Sometimes the color lifter takes like 3 tries. And now, so what's left is we need little beaks and we need little, so I would take, that's when I take my petal pink, although it's not like my favorite color, it's just so great for making these little light flowers. It's so great, it's such a great color because petal pink goes with anything. It's kind of like, you don't have to worry about it. If you just use petal pink, it's never going to really clash that much because it's kind of, it's neutral, like Switzerland, right? As they say. All right, it goes with everything. It gets along with everybody. All right, there we go. And then I'm going to just do that little bit there. And I think I'm going to lighten it up. The petal, even the petal pink, I should have used the light petal pink instead of the dark petal pink because this is the light one. And that's more what I should have used for those flowers. But that's okay, because you lighten them up with the marker. All right, now the last thing is your beak, and I would definitely never try to use, when you have when you have this kind of scene, right? Oh yeah, petal pink works great on the little piggies because it has that tinge of orange. When you have a scene like this, don't try to use your marker for a beak, because your marker, all these blends markers are going to be too thick for your beak. Let's make sure. What is this one? This is, I just grabbed this. This is crushed curry. I'm just making the little beaks with the tiny tip of the crushed curry, because any of those blends markers would be too thick for this little area. And you got to color the little beaks after all. All right, I don't think I'm missing anything. I slipped a little piece of paper, so we'll just go ahead and put a little piece. We'll just use this now, because this, or maybe not that. We'd use maybe, ooh, you know what? I'm going to unbox the paper next. So you know what I do is I'm going to unbox my new designer series papers. And I know that some of those, wherever my box is, some of those are going to have these In Colors in it. And so that'll give me the strip of paper I need. It'll just come to me. It'll be like the strip of paper I need. But look how that'll look on the card base. I'm not using that card base because I got ink on it. But let's use, oh, you know what? Now it's time to use my Evening Evergreen. Now it's going to come to the rescue. Look at that. The Evening Evergreen is going to work for this, because it's going to be a really good contrast between those colors. I didn't use it at all in the card, but we know it's going to go well, right? So the Evening Evergreen is going to go well. So we're just going to do this now. We're going to do, I'm going to score the card the same way. I'm going to do it 4 1/4. All right, with my score. And I'm just going to make it 5 1/2. I actually don't make my cards one at a time like this. I usually just make like a lot of cards at once. But I just unwrapped the paper, so I'm going to start using the paper, right? So this is the Evening Evergreen. I can put the designer series paper on there later. We're just going to attach it and see how it looks, and then later I'll add a little strip of designer series paper. And this one, when I open up my gems, because I do have some In Color gems somewhere, I just don't have the In Color ribbon, but I have these, like, they're called like In Color sequins or something like that. I can throw a few little 1, 2, 3 little sequins piece of designer series paper, might even emboss the little strip of paper, and boom, that card will be done. So you're going to see me finish this card in my next video where I unbox the paper. Oh, I'm so happy with these In Colors. And I actually like how this one, this Magenta, I liked how the Magenta Madness didn't overpower the others. It went well with the polished pink. And that way I had birds that were all of different colors. And you know what this would have been good to do too for is welcome to the team. Like a welcome to the team card. You could put welcome to the team because there's a bunch of little birds there. Okay, so here's what we came up with. And then for this one, I'm thinking that it would be nice now. This is just my idea. I'll finish it. I don't want to finish it on camera. But what I'm going to... Oh, I also wanted to color the doilies real quick. I was thinking, well, I don't know what happened to it. Here it is. Here it is. I was just thinking that this little guy needs to go right here. Like 3 times, right? Like this. And then 3 colors. Let me make sure I get this right. I think I need my little rubber piece. Sometimes you have to use the rubber to stamp well. I'm just going to try it. If it doesn't work, it's going to turn into a bookmark. There we go. Meaning if I can't get all 3. Oh, good, good, good. So I'm thinking I'm going to do the three In Colors right like that. Like I'll do a polished pink and I'll do a polished pink, a fresh freesia. I might keep losing my microphone. Then I'll chop this off a little bit and then I'll mount it onto another layer and I'll have a card with the 3 flowers in the 3 In Colors. Okay, so that's the plan for that one. And then this one we're gonna finish that up with a piece of designer series paper, and this one As far as I'm concerned, I'm happy with it the way it is. Maybe a few little gems if I open up some gems. All right, so let's just see. Last, I said I was going to teach you a little bit about the vellum. Or just, not teach you, but just show you what these look like on vellum. So that's what we're going to do real quick. We're just going to color. We don't need to color the whole doily. We'll just color it a little bit to see how this comes out on vellum. Okay, to see how the blends come out. So, what I'm just going to color these in and see what happens. And then vellum's very slippery, so after you color your vellum, you can rub your hand over it to get the colors to blend better. Like that. That's what I do a lot of. You know, using my fingers to get the. We're just going to do a couple of the lighter ones. We're going to do the papaya, the pale papaya, and then we're going to do the we'll do these two. We'll do these two lighter ones. All right, so we're going to color this. And then what you do is after you color it, you use it as a layer for your card and embellish with it. So we're going to put that on a white background. You can see it. See how that works. Or you would put it on a different color background or use it as a layer for your designer series paper. All right. I think I got it all evenly covered. We're going to test it out. So that's what that looks like. I did some dark and light coloring of vellum. And that gives you just a nice fun thing to put as one of your backgrounds for your layers. And we'll go ahead and do that with this color. But I got to turn this over, because if I don't turn this little rubber thing over, I'm going to end up with the colors mixing. And again, I'd like to just do some dark and light. So we'll color this vellum. Oh, you can color it. You don't just color vellum with your markers. You can color the little pearls. You know, your little embellishments. I mean, you can color everything. I usually color the other kind of pearls, not that kind of pearl. Not the opal rounds, because the opal rounds look too cute as they are. But a lot of times I color the regular pearls. I had kind of forgot about those little pearls, and then my team member Crystal, she had the pearls and she was coloring them, and I'm like, how did I overlook those poorly neglected things? So now I'm getting them all the time and adding them to my surprise host codes and everything. I think once I get my ink, I would probably just use ink as well to color these doilies, you know, with my rolling braille. So let's do that. So you can color your vellum, and that just gives you nice layering for your cards, you know, nice things to put in your cards that go with the hues, and the tones go with your in colors. All right, so I'm going to wrap up now, but I wanted to say, because a lot of you watch all my videos, and I know a lot of you were there for my last scan and cut tutorial when I worked with this snail and we made shaker cards, and I said, hey, save the parts and you can go back and make things with them. So I just want to show you these because I'm about to mail these off. So I just want to show you just a follow-up to what I just did in my last video. And then we're done. We're wrapped up. So I hope you enjoyed that coloring session on the in colors. And now I just want to show you traditional colors. So we did shaker cards using the scan and cut. Making sure nothing's on my hands here. So get on my cards. We made shaker cards in the last video. I showed you how to make the shaker card window. And I said, hey, save these little parts. Right? So we made a couple of these. I showed you how to heat emboss the snail from Snailed It stamp set. And we used the traditional designer series paper from snail mail. So these are the cards we made in the last video. And then we made this kind of card as well from the You Snailed It. I said this is going to be my graduation card, one of those. And one of them I'm going to give away. Okay, so then I said save the inside. I said save the inside, you can use them. So here's a follow-up. I went and made all these cards after that video was over. Here's the inside of the shaker cards. So here's all the different things I did with the insides. So never throw away those extra parts. You can use them, you can layer them up. And these are the little snail dies that are part of the snail mail suite as well. And then I whipped out, to make a few more cards, I whipped out my old paper pumpkin kits. Right? And I did some snail mail, happy mail with some paper pumpkin kits. from, not Kits, Kit singular. It's from the, I wrote it down here, what it was. Sending Hearts Paper Pumpkin Kit. And here's just some other things I did. So those are all just my snail mail cards I've been working on. So I just wanted to show you those, because you could just see how different something can be when you just change up, you know, the colors and the thing. But you get one stamp set and you get all kinds of, you know, all kinds of versatility for it. So does coloring on vellum chew up your markers? No, I mean, I do it all the time. I mean, but I only have gone through, the most I've chewed up my markers was, the most I've ever gone is I'm on my third set of some markers. Like, that's in a few years now. We've had blends for a few years. The most and you know how much I color and how terrible I treat my crafts. You've seen me on my videos. I just treat everything so crazy. I mean, I work things to death. And I've only had to replace markers twice. Like, there's only one set I'm on my third set of. Or two sets, maybe. And all the rest I'm only on my second set of. And that's as much as I use and abuse my markers. So no, it doesn't chew them up. And if it does, like, and you accomplished your thing, so you could probably color a few hundred of these and then your marker would be all chewed up, and then it would be all chewed up. But then if you colored a few hundred doilies and your marker got chewed up, and it was $9 for a set of markers, and then so what? You colored a couple hundred doilies or 100 doilies, and you have them for wedding party favors or something. So it would be totally worth it. I think it's easy to color with a sponge brayer as well, but that you don't get that dark and light effect. So when you use a sponge brayer, when you're coloring, right? This is a sponge brayer, which, by the way, these are going away. It makes me want to cry. You don't get the light and dark part. You don't get to be able to do the light and dark as easy. Everything is like the same color when you use the sponge brayer, or and the blends, though, I guess you could use the blending brush and make it light and dark. So yeah, so that might be better than the alcohol markers, but the nice thing about alcohol markers is they're permanent. Like, they're permanent. So once you rub it all in, it doesn't rub off. It's like really, and you get that cool like ombre effect. But it's up to you. I mean, you don't have to just abuse your crafts like I do. If you want them to keep working for you longer, I mean, I hope my crafts don't feel abused. I hope they feel loved, because I use them to send love to so many others. All right, well, that's a wrap. So we'll see you next time. It'll probably be like the same time tomorrow, right? Whatever time this was, maybe a couple hours. I'm going to try to go a couple hours earlier. And I'm going to show you what's planned is the rest of my box, or not the rest of my box, but just some designer series papers. I'll unbox a bunch of new things. And I'm going to also finish up these cards here, if I haven't already finished them up. I won't finish this with the piece of designer paper, but I will finish up this card, and I'll follow up, and I'll probably color my other snail scene. I'll follow up. Maybe I'll make a little tag treat or something, and follow up. So you'll get to see how these cards came full circle. Thanks for coming, Diana and Donna and Terry and everyone else who came in later. And that's all for now. This is the Papered Chef. See you next time.